we live? Oh, we're live. Okay. So, I think that we're gonna reverse towards the upside. We're gonna go towards the upside now. Um, Temporarily. So this blue step line here is the 4-hour indicator line, and we have been respecting this level of support on the S&P as well as the NASDAQ. I'll skip over the NASDAQ real quick and you'll see the same thing roughly. We got this 4-hour step line coming down. So price is probably gonna, because it tried to cross above it here, it didn't have enough momentum. It was too far off. But now that this line is starting to come down, it might do something similar again and then come back down. But with the rate at which that this line is coming down and with the intensity of which this volatility is happening, especially towards the upside, it's a strong indicator to me that, or a strong sign to me that we are going to be going back towards the upside. Um, we that the downward correction on traditional markets is temporarily on hold. But I do think that it is going to still correct to the downside ultimately. It's just a little volatile and choppy. It's going to go back to towards the upside and then back towards the downside. It's going to test this line, this level right here as resistance. Same thing on the S&P, except instead of that line being resistance, it's just going to be right around here where liquidation is. Where a lot of people likely entered into their short positions, either here or here, potentially here as well. So these will be the new levels of resistance for that upswing. In addition, I do think that price is going to go towards the upside, um, not just because this line is coming down aggressively, although that is a big factor, but also because price is going to want to run away from crossing below too aggressively below this purple line here, um, because it needs to basically shake out all of the fearful investors and all the fearful speculators in the market. Um, that's what price action does, regardless of what chart it is. I mean, not regardless, but with charts that have a lot of volume being traded, or assets that have a lot of volume being traded, that's more than likely usually the case. Um, so we're gonna go temporarily back towards the upside, test this level for resistance, probably come back down. If we break above it, it'll keep going higher. Otherwise, if we get price rejected from this level on the NASDAQ and these levels on the S&P, then if price does get rejected from there, then we potentially could see a major correction to the downside. Um, I'll just do a little measurement real quick just to see. Let's say we go from here. I'm expecting it to go to potentially to this liquidation block right here. What is that? It's roughly 6% on this chart. And let's go to the NASDAQ and see what that is. Let's get the ruler out here and go down there. So what is that? That's roughly almost 7%, right? So we're looking at a potential 6 to 7% correction on the Nasdaq and the S&P towards the downside, and then this level at which point would act as support, right? So first we have to go back towards the upside and then back towards to the downside. But um, again, I'm not saying that that's going to happen guaranteed, but that is what I think is going to happen. None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, I do think that we are going to uh, cross above this green line towards the upside and make a very strong-willed effort to get back up to this level of resistance, especially since this 4-hour step line is coming down aggressively or somewhat aggressively on a micro level. But on a macro scale, probably gonna get rejected here and come back down, especially since this purple step line, I'll just make it a little more visible here, is rising somewhat quickly. And we could have a situation where just try to find an example. Let's see if I can find it. I guess that's a good example. Yeah, okay. So in this example here, where price looked like it was initially going to, cross through to the, oops, didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to click on that. I meant to close that out. Okay, so here price, it looked like it was going to break through to the upside, like super aggressively, but it corrected back towards the downside, right? And then it officially established the bottom of this channel. So I think that something similar could be happening here, where price could do something similar, but it would be the inverse, right? So it might not go down right away. Price might not correct to the downside right away. It might go up, test this for resistance, and then still come back down and still come back up before it comes down again. But I do believe more than likely that we are going to see a correction to the downside, and then once we do see that major correction, and we find our level of support, we will continue again back towards the upside, potentially here, just because this red line here is coming down and price has already crossed above it, right? So if we go out to zoom out to the daily, we can see it a little more clearly. Yeah. But then we also have this purple line here, which I think actually, yeah, no, that's a bigger indicator. No, so yeah, I don't think we're gonna go to the upside here, actually. I don't think so, because I thought the red line was more of a macro line. I thought it was like the monthly or the 3-month line, but it's not. That's these two. So I'll just show real quick. I'll just turn those off so you guys can see. Yeah. So the bigger the time frame, the greater the weight that these indicators carry. So on a macro scale, price is going towards the downside. It is on the NASDAQ and the S&P. It's not going to get there right away, but it's going to get there. It's getting there. Let me turn these lines back on. Oh. It's weird. Oh yeah, there it is. There they are. Wasn't seeing it. Yeah, so this is starting to creep up on the S&P, starting to shoot up, but on the NASDAQ it's already a little more evident, a little more clear. Yeah, it's a lot closer to price action on the NASDAQ. So I would say the NASDAQ is somewhat more of a leading indicator than the S&P for the traditional market right now. So that's the traditional market. I'm gonna shoot another live real quick, briefly on Bitcoin right now to cover that, but this concludes the update on this live for the traditional markets. I'll see you guys in the next